Welcome back to another Zortex video. Today is going to be a little bit different because we're going to delve more into marketing and business, that side of personal development, away from the anxiety stuff for a little bit. I wanted to change the content basically. I wanted to do something a little bit more different and cater to more interests, not just self-help. Today's video is going to be all about Fenty Beauty versus Florence by Mills. Let's just get into it. I'm quite into skincare, makeup, all of that, and I have been following trends for a while in terms of seeing what's popular and then trying to understand why is it popular. Fenty Beauty came along, which is by Rihanna, and it kind of took the beauty industry by storm. People were very supportive of Rihanna's endeavour in this, and actually the brand itself is taken very seriously. That was obviously a few years ago, and since then many other artists and celebrities have come out with their own skincare, beauty, hair care lines. But I think for me it's been the most interesting to see how Rihanna has taken her brand and managed to make it so successful, and then to compare it with Florence by Mills, because this brand is by a much younger actress, but she also is doing so many different collaborations. So she's producing a clothes line, she's collaborated with Specsavers, there's a lot that's going on, right? And I wanted to see how the public perception of that translates through following mostly rather than sales. But we'll talk a little bit about everything. So let's start with Fenty Beauty. Rihanna has an Instagram following at the time of this recording of 151 million people. Fenty Beauty, on the other hand, only has 13 million. I say only, 13 million is still a big number, but when you compare it to the 151, it's not such an impressive number. Fenty Beauty also launched in September 2017, so it's been around for 7 years now. On the other hand, you've got Millie Bobby Brown, who has 63.2 million followers, and Florence by Mills has 3.2 million followers, right? And that was launched in August 2019, so 2 years later than Rihanna, but it's still been around 5 years, so a decent amount. Rihanna's age 36, Millie age 20. Again, bit of a difference in the person who's creating the brand. Now, what I noticed the most, and we'll get into sort of the basic products in a moment, but it feels like Rihanna has really established herself very well in the industry and is very involved in the products. And it feels as though she has a very big part to play in the success of the brand, not that she's just the face of the brand. On the other hand, as I mentioned actually a few seconds ago, Millie has so many projects going on at such a young age, as well as her actual career, which is an actress. It's hard to believe that she isn't more of the face rather than having a heavy part to play in creating a really unique skincare line. I can believe that it's her passion, I can believe all of that, but it's difficult to take the brand as seriously. So where does that leave us? First, let's just talk about sales, right? So Fenty Beauty is worth about $2.8 million, roughly, at the time when I looked all this up. Florence by Mills is unclear, but the estimated revenue is 1.7 million. However, Millie's net worth is estimated at like 14 million, but it's not really relevant to this. We want to speak specifically about the brand. So Fenty Beauty, more established, it's 2 years older, but it does seem to have a more premium place than Florence by Mills. One of the reasons that I picked these brands is, to me, because they feel kind of similar. So what I decided to do to really see how different they are, I picked up a Fenty Skin mini set of all three products, and then I picked up Florence by Mills face wash, so the cleanser, and the moisturizer. What I found interesting was I couldn't find a toner for Florence by Mills, whereas obviously in this little trio, that one is the toner. Now, okay, the branding isn't the same in terms of typography, and that you can see there's a different feel, but you put them together and they look nice together. So it feels a little bit influenced, but it is what it is. Packaging, again, we'll talk about that in a second. First, I'll go through the prices. Let me just say that so this trio of products is £34 normally. On sale you can get it for like 25, something like that. But say it's 34 to get all 3 products. There isn't this option with Florence by Mills, you have to buy each thing separately. Now, what's interesting about that for me is that indicates that maybe there's less faith in the product. Because again, the price points aren't that different. So I picked these up from Boots, UK based, obviously. If we go through quickly the product prices, the full sizes, you've got the cleanser is £23 for 145ml, toner £29 for 150ml, moisturiser £35 for 50ml. Then you go to Florence by Mills, the cleanser 100ml £12, and the moisturiser £14. So Florence by Mills, half the price of Rihanna's stuff, right? So maybe that's why it's not worth making a sort of taster thing. And again, if we talk about who these guys are targeting, Fenty Skin, more premium product. Florence by Mills, I think, is more targeted towards people around Millie's age and younger. So it's really more a kind of branding thing that you want to use what Millie Bobby Brown uses rather than the benefits of it. That's my understanding anyway, based on the marketing. But what was interesting is that it's still not cheap for a cleanser and a moisturiser. I mean, a cleanser is literally, but one of the more gentle brands, which doesn't have any big claims, but is a really nice gentle cleanser, is Sukin. And they use sort of 90% natural ingredients, if not more. And they're only about £9 for a pretty hefty bottle. So it's still a little bit more expensive for if it's targeting teenagers who would have less money, right? And again, as I say, no toner, so it's missing a step, which again makes it feel like not enough thought has been put into the products. It's kind of more what looks cool, what will sell. But when you go into Boots, Fenty Skin has a beautiful stand, beautiful, because obviously you've got Fenty Beauty too, so you've got everything in one place. It's a Longwood-side, Huda and Too Faced, and that. Florence by Mills was more difficult to find, actually, which to me kind of indicates it's not selling that well, at least over here. I don't know, I was just surprised that it was on the bottom shelf where it was just kind of there. I mean, again, you can see this, to be fair, I did order this online from Boots, but you can see the packaging's pretty nice, right? It's all well kept, right? Then you come to Florence, and to be fair, what is a nice little touch in terms of branding is there is like a little iridescent sort of, the Florence is iridescent. I'm not sure if you can see that. But what was a bit sad was that if you look, it's not really treated very nicely. See, you've got all these little black bits. Which is a bit of a shame when you're spending a little bit more on a product, right? So, where does that leave us? What are the thoughts? Packaging, really nice for both. Fenty Beauty, little bit more luxury, makes sense. Feel kind of hefty. I mean, the sample set, okay, you say it cost me less than Florence by Mills. No, so okay, both cost me pretty much the same amount, but with this one, obviously, I get the toner. So, you got a moisturiser, and you've got, there you go, you've got your cleanser, and then you've got your toner, which is pore refining, right? Cute, beautiful. Really cute little sample travel sizes. I'm not sure, how does it, Fenty Skin starter set, great. Beautiful little kit. You've got the little message on the inside. Love your skin, respect the planet. Visit fentyskin.com for recycling and clean formula details. You've got everything at the back. So let's see, before we go into anything, let's see quickly. The Total Cleanser, hyper clean, soft skin without stripping or drying, daily cleanser and makeup remover in one. No big claims. Fat Water, instantly refines the look of pores, reduces the look of dark spots, even skin tone and fights shine without stripping skin. Okay, cool. Hydra Visor, light as air hydration, ultra sheer sun protection, doesn't pill and plays well with makeup. You've also got an additional thing in here, which is like a little sample of body cream. Butter Drop. Okay, so it's like a nice little cute bonus, but also you'd use it on your hands, that's kind of it. No big claims. Maybe the toner has the most claim, I suppose. Pretty basic, fine. Florence has a lot. Okay, says we keep it clean for all skin types, dermatologist tested, vegan, that's it. Gets rid of makeup, dirt and oils with botanical ingredients that wash away all the environmental yuck so we can get back to being our beautiful selves. Clean Magic Face Wash. So this one. Living is changing, don't be afraid to grow, cute little message. And then a much heftier, obviously it is a full size thing, right? Cute. So again, we'll check. Cucumber Rose, again, they're both Cucumber Rose, so nice complimentary. Oh, inspire and influence no matter what. Different message for the moisturizer, which Featherlight Hydrating Lotion gives our skin all the good feels to fall in love with. Here you go, silky formula includes 2 types of lotus flower extracts and vitamin B12. Again, cute little moisturizer. So the packaging is all super consistent, nice simple branding for both actually. Obviously the word Florence, much bigger than the Fenty Skin, which is there. Does this have SPF in it? No. So, okay, Florence versus Fenty. Where do we stand with it? This part is just about the marketing side and the branding side. Because if you want to start your own little business, you want to know how to position yourself correctly. For me, my impression when I was buying them was that Florence by Mills was overpriced and Fenty Skin was a good bargain. The interesting thing about that is the price difference. So if you want to buy Florence's set, which again is missing a toner, that's a little bit frustrating. Couldn't find it. Don't know if it exists. From what I saw, it doesn't exist. This will only set you back 26 quid for just these two. That's not bad. But if you're starting out in skincare, you'd still need an SPF, you'd still need a toner. So it's not that cheap. As again, especially as I said, the overall impression, it's just kind of there on the floor. Not great. This on the other hand is presented like a little present. You say, oh, it's only 26 quid, 25 pounds. When on sale. Maybe I'd feel different if I'd bought it for 34. But you get everything. You say my whole skincare routine is in this little box. I have my SPF, I have my toner, I have my cleanser, I have everything. Plus, it gives you the ability to try the products, see what you like, see what you don't like, without feeling that you wasted money on the full thing. However, that being said, you've got the cleanser at 23, toner at 29, so you're at 52, plus your moisturizer, £87. That's a big difference from the 26 for these. So these are definitely much, much cheaper, much more affordable, right? Which you'd want because this is more targeted towards adults, this is more targeted towards teenagers. The only thing the reason that I think Florence by Mills doesn't seem to have such a huge presence, I would say, is because there are too many different ventures. You can't criticize the packaging, it's nice. However, obviously, just from the outset, you wouldn't really know what's what. This doesn't scream that it's something hugely different from this. If I told you, oh, this is the sample size of this product, you'd believe me, you wouldn't think it's anything different. Whereas when you've got Fenty Skin, they're so different in terms of shape and weight, you can tell these three are three separate products, right? That's what you want when you're doing packaging. You don't want it to feel like it's all the same. When you're building your packaging and your branding, you want to make sure that yes, people recognize you. This is so much more fun. This is so much more elegant. So again, depends who you're targeting, right? You want to make sure your branding is clear. What I think was interesting is that, in my opinion, the purple colours of both brands sort of become a little bit mixed. That it feels, as I said, they're sort of inspiring each other. However, when I asked a friend, they said no, they're nothing alike. So for them, they'd be able to see instantly. That being said, if I was to see this without any branding, without that Fenty Skin, I'm not sure I would immediately know who it belongs to, whereas this is pretty hard to miss. You want to make sure you have consistent typography, obviously. You go for something more bubbly, like the Florence. That will mean, yeah, I'm more youthful, I'm more fun, this is a quirky product. You go for something very modern, like the Fenty Skin. You're saying elegant, classy, understated. Then we've got the marketing side. I feel like most of the marketing I've seen for both brands is Instagram, because both celebrities have a big following, so if they mention it on their personal Instagram, that will be seen by millions like that. Little bit more difficult when you are a smaller business, but it's worth knowing where you should advertise your product. Meaning there will be instances where Facebook, if you're going via social media, Facebook will target better people for your product than say Instagram. So you want to experiment with that a little bit to see what kind of influence you can have without having a big sort of well-known face for the brand. That definitely helps both these celebrity brands. They are celebrities, so of course they will get attention. Colour scheme, again, super important. The colours that you pick for your packaging, for your branding, will have an effect on how it is perceived. Be clear with your values, your brand message, before you pick your colours. Even if it's your favourite colour, take a step back and say, okay, what do I want to convey with my packaging? What type of feelings do I want to evoke? Then take a look at the colour charts. Then decide what works best for you. Again, logos, super important to make sure it goes with the colour. So the Florence by Mills, white and purple, everywhere. But that's it really. I think when it comes to trusting a brand, because of Rihanna's absence in the music industry over the last few years, it's easier to take her ventures more seriously because it doesn't feel like a side project. I don't know how it goes on behind the scenes. It could be that Rihanna and Millie have almost identical teams, but it doesn't feel like it. And that's the crucial difference. You want to make sure that your brand is presented with trust and authenticity, that this is your passion, that this is what you are focused on and you are taking seriously. Not that it's got a fraction of your attention and meh, what happens to the customers happens to the customers. You want to make sure that it's clear that you care. With Fenty Skin, you get the impression that there's a lot of care there. With Florence by Mills, it just feels like the product's literally created, put on a shelf, and on to the next project. Whereas with Fenty Skin, we stay with the classics and then slowly bring out other sort of different versions of a similar thing to cater to different skin types. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'd love to know your comments if you've tried either products. Let me know what you think. And I look forward to hearing your opinions on the brands or any other brands that you've thought about when it's to do with a celebrity marketing it. Have you felt that you trust that brand more or trust it less? And don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, all that. We'll have different content on the way now. As I said, some will be business related, some will be personal development. It's all new. So, till next time.